Hello, everybody, and welcome to the show. We are excited to be here today on this wonderful Thursday afternoon. As always, the weather report for Ohio is cloudy and cold. That seems to be the kind of standard thing here in Ohio right now, but that is what happens in Ohio in the winter. It seems like the global warming is not succeeding right now. We've had a very cold winter. I'm a fan of global warming, by the way. I kind of wish we'd get a little more of it right now. It's been very, very cold here. But alas, I am not lucky enough to have any global warming in my home. So, folks, I'm looking, and it's getting worse, right? Every day and I kind of wonder, are things getting worse? Or are we just really starting to see the truth? Is the truth coming out more and more? And I think it's kind of a combination of both. I mean, we're definitely barreling towards Great Reset time. I mean, it's coming, right? There's no question what's occurring. We're moving quickly towards the Great Reset, and the administration is frankly helping it along. It's not stopping it. There's no one slowing it down. We're moving directly into Great Reset territory, New World Order. In fact, J.D. Vance even talked about it. We'll have the clip a little bit later. But we are moving into a new world order. And one of the things that you got to understand is when I say that, I want you guys to be aware. So, frankly, the world has been a mess for a long time. So a new world order, We probably do need to reorder things. But the thing is what's happening isn't what we want. We want an America first world. We want a freedom world. We want a world where people we have the opportunity to live their lives freely, to do what they need to do, to take care of their families with economic freedoms, liberties, all these different things. That's what we need. The New World Order should be a world that's free, a world that is, based on, governments that represent the people and actually work for the people, governments that aren't corrupt. What we're getting, though, is the opposite. What we're getting is corporatocracies and kind of this World Economic Forum vision of a new world order, which includes, getting rid of useless eaters, as Bill Gates would say. It's really a disturbing trend, and what's happening is not good on a profound scale. Digital track and trace is flying off the shelves. I mean, we're moving right down the Palantir is. I guess they're just running the government now. And apparently they own Susie Wiles and this whole crew. What's happening there is repulsive and horrific. And one of the things that nobody's talking about is that really underlying a lot of this is AI. The world's being remade in the image of AI. This new system's coming in, and people, you can see it. It's there. I've been talking about it. A few of us have been talking about it. My buddy Clay Clark talks about it. We talk about it together every week on our show, the show we do together. It's just, there's no question what's happening, but it's happening. And you can see it happening. Meanwhile, all of this corruption is being exposed. We're seeing these sick things. We're seeing exactly how bad the people are that lead us. Yet we're supposed to look the other way. We're not supposed to care. I keep seeing people saying, well, Epstein stuff is a Democrat hoax. It is. Well, I got 3 million pages of evidence to say otherwise. Looks like it was a very real child predator ring, created and run to appeal to the elites of the elites of the elites. Looks like the world's being ran by a bunch of perverts and pedophiles. By the way, are you seeing more and more of this about Jay-Z and Beyonce? I got to be honest with you. Jay-Z and Beyonce, if it turns out that they're the pedophile child rapists that everybody's suggesting they might be, first of all, I won't be surprised. And second of all, I can't think of two people I would rather never hear from again more than those two, except maybe Taylor Swift. I mean, can we please get rid of those clowns? You talk about shit music. I'm sorry, their music sucks. Okay. I mean, that was the wrong one to go at. I had all you guys when I say, hey, the child rapist, that's no good. Then I start talking about their music, and at least half the people watching, they're like, yeah, but I like their songs. It's catchy. No, it's not. I'm an old rock guy, so I don't want that crap. It sucks. It sucks to me. Anyways. This debacle that we're seeing is really kind of a combination of the world barreling towards a great reset, plus us seeing exactly how broken the world is. Everybody's getting a red pill, whether they want it or not, but it's not a full red pill. It's a distraction. What we're getting is a lot of people looking at issues that are critical and they're important, but they really don't compare to the fact that the world's about to be taken over by a new AI system that's going to really just control everything. And we are moving into Terminator times. The whole Skynet thing, it's terrifying. And, it just, nobody seems to even want to think about it. Folks, we're going to get into all this today, but before we do, please support us. I need your help. GiveSendGo.com/Renslaw. GiveSendGo.com/Renslaw. Listen, we made the decision. There was a lot of pressure. A lot of people wanted, hey, you can't say anything about Trump or the administration. You can't say anything about this. You can't say anything about that. And so we made the very strategic decision to do something that's important to me. Be honest. We're not going to lie about anything. I'm sorry if Donald Trump isn't doing his job, we're going to talk about it. And I'm sorry if the Democrats are being insane, we're going to talk about it. I'm sorry if Benjamin Netanyahu's no good or the leader of Qatar or anybody else, we're going to talk about it. We're going to just stick with the truth. It's what I've done since I started in this, and I'm not going to change now. The truth does not, however, get you paid, because all the people that we're talking about are selling out on one level or another. And we're not gonna, I promised God we'd stick with integrity in this show. We're going to do that. So we need your support. GiveSendGo.com/Renslaw. That keeps us afloat. If you want us to be able to keep doing this, we're going to try and do it. But you may see me broadcasting from, a cave or under a bridge embankment if we don't get some support. So givesendgo.com/Renslaw, givesendgo.com/Renslaw. Whatever you can give helps. Become a monthly donor if you can. We could use some big funding right now pretty badly. I'm praying on it. We'll get there. Also, support TomRenz.com, everything, TomRenz.com, www.tomrenz.com. We love TomRenz.com because that's where you can support me on everything and find out everything I'm up to. First thing you do is you go to shop, partners and affiliates, all these guys. You use checkout code RENZ for almost all of them. You get a big discount. And remember, nobody wants Bill Gates' penis. If you want to avoid having a Bill Gates penis, you need men's hormone support, right? Clearly, Bill Gates has no hormone support whatsoever. He looks like a frumpy, fat, old woman that's never seen a gym in his life. You don't want to be Bill Gates. And, Jeffrey Epstein wrote extensively about his penis. Apparently, Bill Gates described his penis to Jeffrey Epstein. Even Jeffrey Epstein was scarred by that experience. If you look at the emails, the Epstein files, think about this. Imagine this. You're Jeffrey Epstein, one of the sickest pedophiles on the planet, and even you're disturbed by Bill Gates' penis. Listen, you don't want Bill Gates' penis, and the way to avoid Bill Gates' penis and having a Bill Gates penis is men's hormone support. I'm going to go out on a limb. Now, the FDA says I can't promise that nutritional supplements, because this is an all-natural supplement, I'm not allowed to promise that this can cure or treat any disease, but I don't think Bill Gates' penis is an actual diagnosis. But I'm just going to say I think men's hormone support will cure Bill Gates' penis. Maybe Bill Gates should take it, except for then I don't know what happened. But for anybody that doesn't want to have a Bill Gates penis, men's hormone support from Global Healing. And also today, I want to highlight my friends. Scroll down. You guys look at how many awesome sponsors we've got. I mean, Rocasa, by the way, they sent me eyebrow serum. So did I look pretty? I got to be honest, I don't really know what eyebrow serum is, but they do have a great skincare line for the chicks. Clearly, there's no skincare line on the planet going to fix this, but Rocasa is still awesome. Anyways, but scroll down. Here it is, Cardio Miracle. Listen, this stuff, I do use this. I use a lot of Rocasa too, but the Cardio Miracle, some of the Rocasa stuff, the makeup remover and stuff like that, I got it, That's for the girls, but they do have some great products that I use. I do like their tart cherry. I do like some of their soap. Smells really yummy, and all that sort of stuff. So, anyways, if you like yummy smelling soap and actually, guys, I'm talking to you. If anybody wants to buy a present for a woman, just go to Rocasa. Everything they got is perfect, and they have some good stuff for dudes too. They have some great supplements and great stuff that's awesome. But anyways. Cardio Miracle. Cardio Miracle I use a lot of. Try and take it every day. I don't always do that, but I try. Great product line, and really does it's huge. Helps your circulation, helps your heart, helps with everything. So you want Cardio Miracle in your diet and your daily supplement regimen. It is a wonderful product. Make you feel better on a lot of fronts. And nitric oxide, right? Helps boost that nitric oxide levels in your blood, and that's big. Helps circulation, helps everything. It also actually helps to avoid Bill Gates' penis. Nitric oxide is actually similar to what occurs when you use like your Viagra's and that sort of stuff. I'm not saying that Cardio Miracle is Viagra. I'm not, but nitric oxide is what it is. Anyways, all right. Let's get into things other than honestly, guys. Honestly, tell me, have you ever heard a better selling point than, hey, avoid having Bill Gates' penis? I'm kind of proud of myself. I just came up with that yesterday on the spot. I'm like, hey, men's hormone support. My kids thought that was really funny. Sometimes my kids listen to my show, which, it's probably a little disturbing that I let my kids listen to my show. But they thought it was hilarious. They thought that was very funny. So I was kind of proud of that. I mean, and if that doesn't motivate you to buy Global Healing Men Hormone Support and use RENZ at checkout code, I don't know what will. You click on our link, Men's Hormone Support. Anyways, let's go into, I've got a few different things. We're going to go right here. We're going to go right here to, I've got a video I want to play for you. We're going to start out with this, right? Speaking of avoiding having a Bill Gates penis. So we've got a video here. I just kind of wanted to touch on this. And the moral of this video is that no women should ever work in a university. Okay, that is exactly right. I'm just trying to piss everybody off, which I frequently do. But actually, this is a really important thing. Let's talk about that. Let's listen to this right here. This is a really interesting video.
More women, she says, are against free speech.
When you ask people, which do you value more, academic freedom, there's no overlap. A vast majority of males choose the pursuit of truth, academic freedom, whatever the cost. The females favor emotional safety and equity.
So what? Both are good qualities.
No, they're not. The university exists for the pursuit of truth.
Men and women, she says, should fight this trend.
It's going to take more parents willing to stand up for their sons who are getting screwed at academic institution after academic institution. It's going to take more CEOs not to be browbeaten by their wives.
By their wives?
Females are overwhelmingly far more left-wing, and they push their husbands to buy into the poison of identity politics.
We have to get gender equality here in the United States. It is imperative, and there are several barriers that hold women back.
Russian hookers.
And we have to really, if we're going to bring women up, we have to invest in things to help them with their power and their influence.
So why is that?
Why are females more left-wing? I can't tell you, but it is absolutely the case.
Okay. I love Heather McDonald now. I didn't know who she was. But hold on here. Let me show you this. We're going to bring this back up. I want to, where are we at here? Let's find it. There. Okay, right there. Let's look at this picture. This is, look at Bill Gates. Look at it. Look at this guy. He's right now. Look at that. Melinda is over there. She's talking about women's this and women's that. And this, I know I'm going to get myself in all sorts of trouble. This is a very, very classic thing. Well, we've got to empower the women. Bill Gates is sitting there. How long till the next trip to Epstein Island? She's like, we got to have diversity. How many Russian hookers? How many hookers are going to be there? There needs to be more. 5 more. Can we get 10 more? I'm a billionaire, for God's sakes. I don't care how many are there. But this is an incredible thing. And this Heather McDonald, these women browbeat their husbands. Well, listen, you can't be mad at me, folks. I didn't say it. It was a woman that said this. I'm just not arguing, because I've learned you don't argue with women. The browbeaten. It's unbelievable. But, the point here is a really important thing, right? I mean, look at Melinda. Oh, she looks so grumpy. And he's over there like, oh, Jesus. Oh, dear God. Can someone bring me a hooker? Hopefully she's at least 12. I mean, I don't. Oh, my God. Folks, this is an interesting thing to me, because I do agree. We need men to be men. We need men to man up, and they won't do it. And part of it is they just get sick of fighting with their women and their wives, or this, that, and the other. But it's an interesting thing when we talk about academia. And what she's really talking about is a problem that's been documented scientifically in many millions of ways. Middle-class, rich white liberal women suck. I'm sorry. These leftists, there's some great women out there, but these liberal, rich white women are just the worst of the worst of the worst. They are intolerable on levels that are just mind-blowing. And this is why there's oh my God, I'm gonna get into so much. This is why there's so much damn divorce. You get to middle class, or upper class, you start doing well, and then you got to deal with this. Oh Jesus, listen. I will never feel sorry for Bill Gates. He's horrific, but I mean, hold on. Let's play. Let's put the Mike. Can you put this back on screen? Let's put this back on. Here.
Husbands to
Here we
buy
go.
into the
Listen.
poison of identity
Here it is.
politics.
We have to get gender equality here in the
Here
United
it is.
States. It is imperative, and there are several barriers that hold women back. And we have to really, if we're going to bring women up, we have to invest in things to help them with their power and their influence.
All Bill Gates is thinking about is Epstein hookers and children. I mean, that's just all he can think about. Anyways, I'm sorry. That one really made me just. I felt like we needed to address that. I'm pretty sure I just pissed everybody on the planet off, but I spend most of my life in trouble, so who cares? All right. Let's go from pissing the women off to pissing the trannies off. Listen, we got to have something fun, right? Because we're gonna, talk about Epstein raping children. We got to have something to make you smile a little bit. So I want to talk about this. And for anybody that hasn't heard me explain my position on trannies, listen, if you're a 40-year-old man and you have a serious mental health problem and you want to get your wiener cut off, well, I suppose it's your legal right to do so. You can do whatever sort of stupid you want to do. In kids, this is an appalling form of child abuse at best. And regardless of your age or what you are, this is a mental illness, right? Tranny is a mental illness because guess what? I am a 6'4", hairy, ugly brute of a man. It doesn't matter what you do, how many surgeries I have, or what goes on. I am never going to be a girl. There is nothing you could do to make me be a girl. And no matter how stupid I get or how delusional I get and how much I think I'm a girl, anybody that looks at me is going to know I am not a girl. Much in the same way that I am not a dinosaur. I'm not a dinosaur. For anybody that doesn't know, I'm not. I might identify as a dinosaur, and I may tell you I'm a dinosaur. I can go get my entire body tattooed with green scales. I can get my teeth shaved down into pointy little teeth. I can yell "rawr, rawr, rawr," and have a prosthetic tail sewed on my ass that drags on the ground with me everywhere. And I can say to people, "Rawr, I'm a dinosaur." Do you know what I am? I'm an idiot. I'm not a dinosaur because I do that. I am an idiot pretending to be a dinosaur because I have some sort of mental illness. In the same way, if you were born with a wiener, you will be a male for the rest of your life. We can put a fake wiener on you. We can sew up what you got and put something there. We can put you on hormones that will make you hairy. We can do all sorts of things. But your DNA is what it is. And the second we take you off those hormones and say we do all these things, you will be all messed up because we've created medical problems for you for life, but you will still be what you are. You'll just, at that point, be a mutilated and deformed girl rather than a boy. And the same works in reverse. You cannot change what you are. So I know that this is a very complex thing, and maybe, I'll grant you all, I am not a doctor. I am not a scientist. I'm just, some silly lawyer from Ohio. So maybe I have missed something. Maybe, there's a way for me to get the addictomy surgery if I'm a girl, or get the wiener removal surgery if I'm a guy. And, by the way, do you know what's really disgusting? This is no joke. Plug your kids' ears for a second. Do you know what they do if you're a dude and they want to give you a fake girl part? They craft it from they literally remove part of your asshole and make it out of that. How gross is that? Who the hell would? That's just ugh. Not only is the idea of someone coming near my junk with a knife something that makes me want to fight, but why would I want to replace a perfectly good wiener with asshole? Just geez, am I missing something, folks? Am I being? I'm looking over. I see producer Mike in the background. Producer Mike said Mike doesn't seem to be disagreeing with me. He doesn't. Mike is also a male who was born a male, and I'm presuming that I've never asked him, but I'm presuming he has a wiener. I can't imagine he would want it cut off. I just can't. Yeah, Mike's a good dude. He seems very normal to me. I don't know any guys that are like that. So, anyways, so this is very, very. You can doubt me and say, "Well, Renz, you're not a scientist." But, good news. Let's play this clip.
The Scott Jennings Show. More breaking news for you today, and it is a political earthquake. Two of the most powerful medical institutions in the United States just blew up one of the left's most protected sacred cows. The American Society of Plastic Surgeons and the American Medical Association have now both gone on the record saying the same thing. There is insufficient evidence to justify gender transition surgeries for minors.
Insufficient
and
evidence.
These surgeries should generally be deferred to adulthood.
Or never.
That's not conservative media. That's not Republicans. That's not Donald Trump making a social media post. That is the medical establishment finally backing away. The plastic surgeons, 11,000 of them, now warn that chest, genital, and facial surgeries for minors are irreversible and unsupported by solid long-term evidence. And the AMA, for the first time, is saying out loud what trans cult activists spent years trying to suppress, that we don't actually know if any of this helps kids.
Okay, we're going to stop right there. And Scott Jennings did a great job on this. That's a great report. But here's the deal. We do know that it doesn't help kids because it's a mental illness. And, kids are moody. They get hormone changes, puberty, all these sorts of things. So we're going to fix it by cutting your wiener off. Have you lost your mind? This is child abuse. This is absolute insanity. Now, here's the thing. The big news here is, and of course, it's the AMA and the American Plastic Surgeons. So, I mean, these are both nutbag liberal groups that are just toting the line. But what's this going to do for California? Because California is all in on, mutilating your kid's genitalia. In fact, they'll actually send child protective services to kidnap your child if your child says, "Hey, I'm trans," and you say, "No, you're not." Now, I got to be honest with you. I want to kind of distinguish myself. Some of you may have noticed. See this gray hair? Just this one. I have like this gray hair right here. There's a little bit of gray, but just this one here. So that gray hair indicates that I'm a little bit older. I'm an old dinosaur. Anyways, I'm a Gen Xer. I'm a proud Gen Xer. And they talk about us being, kind of cut from a different cloth and a little bit tougher. And I suppose that's kind of true. I mean, if I was not doing what I needed to when I was a kid, Mom grabbed a firing pin and blapped me in the head. So, I mean, yeah, it's a little bit different way of growing up. I went outside, you break a few bones here and there, you break this, you do that, you come back in, you're bleeding, but you had a fun day, right? You move on. So maybe I've got a little bit of a hard-nosed approach on this, but my thought on this is, hey, Dad, do you think I might be a girl? Poof, right upside the back of the head. That's the kind of counseling that we would have got when we were kids, right? Have you lost your mind? Get the hell out there and play. Go get dirty or something. That would have been the counseling we got. California, oh my God, this child might have gender dysphoria disorder. This is insanity to me. I mean, I just don't get this. I don't get this at all. It was absurdity. So, I'm glad that the AMA and their deep pursuit of truth and science has finally figured out that permanently mutilating a child is not a good idea, but we're there. Listen, we'll take what we can take. All right, let's move on. All right, so we've got problems, right? James O'Keefe. He says, Kash Patel is lazy. Security Special FBI. I want to go through this. I want to go through this video, and it's kind of long, but it's important. I want to get through this, right? So we're going to get through at least as much as we can here. And let me play this for you. This is a James O'Keefe video. from a security specialist at the FBI, right? So this guy works at the FBI. Now, of course, they try and make it like he doesn't really do anything, but he works at the FBI, so he's there. He knows what's going on. Here we go.
So this man in the FBI, Justin Devine, a teacher now turned FBI, has been in his role at the FBI since 2021. Remember, that's the year the FBI raided our newsroom. And Justin has been in charge of these investigations, including human trafficking cases, background checks, and occasionally handling classified material for the FBI. There's always the irony of someone
he's not just
in
a security
the FBI
guard
who handles classified information speaking out of turn, talking to total strangers.
I was under Biden first.
Oh yeah, how was that? Was it different? No.
Way different. Everything was better.
Really?
Everything just felt better. People were happier. My real boss is Cash Patel. Hey, he's all right. He's short though.
Yeah.
He's real short. He's like
I hear he's like a diva. Is that
110%. He's a diva.
Are you serious?
110%.
My dad is a Trump supporter,
Right?
and he really seems to like this bonding.
I met her another time for another thing I was doing. There's a bunch of stuff at DOJ at the Department of Justice building that we needed to get and bring it back to our office.
Okay.
So she works there.
Oh, what were you bringing back?
Hard drives and computers and all
Oh,
that.
for a case.
Yes, for a huge case.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what case were you working on?
This was a human trafficking case.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that case is not closed yet.
Dang, where did that happen?
Here.
Here?
DC. Yeah.
DC.
Yeah.
Trafficking.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
Oh, wait.
I met one.
Wait. There's trafficking in D.C.? Cash Patel's a diva? No.
The victims.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Oh,
Young girl, like a 19-year-old, 18-year-old.
that's so sad.
I know, it's horrible. She was, yeah, no, it was horrible.
How did that trafficking happen?
Well,
Like, where they came from?
Eastern Europe.
Now, for reference, Justin Devine
No.
clearly showcases he is not a fan of the current leadership, and Cash Patel at the FBI, he's not a fan
He's
of
a
his
diva.
boss. We're sure there's many more like him inside the Bureau, but rarely do you see them on tape like this.
So essentially, Cash Patel's kind of lazy.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Wow.
He's lazy as hell.
Lazy
Right?
and a diva.
He's not good at this job. I'm just a normal employee, and even I'm like, you're not good at this, man. You shouldn't be doing this. He just wasn't ready.
Really?
No, I just don't think he's smart enough to do it. Being the director is like you are the face of the whole organization. You're gonna be out in public all the time.
Yes.
And he is just so bad at doing that
That's true.
No way.
that it kind of ruins our whole reputation.
Devine goes further. On hidden camera, this FBI official flatly states that the Bureau will not arrest any so-called deep staters that President Trump says he wants to go after.
Hold on. So Cash is terrible at what he does. He's lazy and he's a diva, at least according to this guy. Now, I would say that's a reasonable assumption considering the FBI's done nothing. But Cash does seem to get to flute around on his private jet and make sure that his girlfriend has rides everywhere. I liked Cash. He was, I'm very surprised to see how terrible he is at this. I don't know whether he's sold out or what's going on, but this is kind of an important thing. And we've been referencing and talking about this video for a few days, but this is really important. So he's lazy, he's a diva, he wasn't ready. There's human trafficking going on in Washington, D.C. No, who would have thought that? Let's see what else there is.
Devine also says that judges will continue to throw out any cases brought to them regarding these so-called deep state officials.
How do
He
you
says
know?
Trump's word, quote, isn't the end-all be-all.
So I keep hearing that Trump wants to like arrest his enemies. Do you think that's gonna happen? Do you think the FBI will arrest?
No.
You don't think so?
He tried already.
He tried already?
He tried to arrest James Comey,
Okay.
who's the former director of the FBI. Wait, like old director of the FBI.
Yeah.
I tried to arrest him, and then he went to trial, and then literally the judge said no,
Really?
threw it out.
So you don't think?
No, that's not what happened, folks. This case was set up to be thrown out by Pam Bondi. Now, this guy is not very bright, and I mean, listen, so we got to take that into account. No matter who he's talking about, what he's talking about, he's limited here. But the reality is that case was thrown out because Pam Bondi signed it to someone who was not legally allowed to bring the case. I believe she did that intentionally. She intentionally undermined that case. So you're right. That's not going to do any good. But you're never going to get anything done when you have people like Pam Bondi there. So let's go.
There's going to be any major arrests with Cash Patel or the FBI in the near future. Okay, so with Trump, if he would tell you guys to arrest these people in 2026, would it have to be done?
No, he doesn't. His word is not end all be all.
So the FBI official here describes how the FBI will essentially walk out the Minnesota fraud scheme until President Trump leaves office.
Well,
why did it take an FBI security specialist randomly talking to one of our undercover people for us to get the truth out of the administration? Why isn't the FBI saying it publicly behind the podium in Washington, D.C., as the American people demand accountability? What about the deep state arrests that were part of Trump's agenda? What we heard from this FBI official is the plan for accountability is essentially no plan, walking out the fraud, judges throwing out the cases, and what that means for Americans is that they will not be getting the arrests and the accountability that they're looking for.
Of course not.
Also, I want to reiterate that up to this point at O'Keefe Media and Citizen Journalism Foundation,
just keep trusting the plan.
This is the seventh FBI DOJ official we have done an investigation on the last year. There's been Jamie Menina, Joseph Schnitt, Glenn Prager, Michelle Rosas, Ramita San, Justin Devine. We even did a video regarding Attorney General Pam Bondi talking about the Epstein videos. The American people will apparently now only get the unfiltered truth when a recording is given to me by a citizen journalist. The FBI and the DOJ have got to do better. And if you have information on the inside, you know who to call.
Okay, so Keith goes on here, but here's the deal. Everything we're seeing is broken. Everything, right? Bondi is talking about thousands of hours of child rape videos, and she's not going to do anything about it. Everybody's moving on. No one is doing anything. And, Donald Trump refuses to fire Susie Wiles and Pam Bondi. He refuses to do it. So you're not going to see accountability. I think that's why Trump is speaking out and saying, there's nothing to see here with Epstein, because it doesn't matter. He knows that there's not going to be any accountability with those two. The real question is what do they have on him? Why won't he fire them? I think that's a fair question, isn't it? Because it's manifest. The American people are pissed. We're not letting Epstein go. We're not going to let this stuff go. He sees it's destroying the midterms. How can he miss it? Donald Trump can't miss that right now the midterms are a disaster. He knows that if the midterms go the wrong way, he gets impeached. He gets, the Dems are going to go for blood. They're going to go after him forever. So what's he doing? Why is this happening? Why is he continuing to let Pam Bondi and Susie Wiles run the show, despite their absolutely abject incompetence on every level? What do they got? What are they doing? I mean, how does this happen? This is the king of you're fired, yet he's unable to fire the two most incompetent people I've ever seen, unless they're not incompetent, unless this is intentional on their part. And at that point, they got to ask, why is Trump tolerating it? Regardless, at the end of the day, the buck stops with Trump. I don't know what else to say, folks. There's no excuse for this. Now let's go on to this. Let's go on to this video. This is a really profound and important video here. This is J.D. Vance, right? J.D. Vance. Now, J.D. Vance, a lot of people like, because he's got a pretty aggressive approach. Vance is sharp, right? He's not slow. So you've got J.D. Vance here. Well, you know what? Let me just play this for you. Ready?
Yeah. And there's a real question about whether there's a massive shift happening now in terms of world alliances long term.
Well, it's definitely, I think, a new world order. I think the president has sought to it. There's a new world order in trade. There's a new world order in globalization and the way that we invest in our economy versus, foreign supply chains. There's a new world order and that the president is willing to shake up some old alliance structures. I mean, NATO, I think, is much different because of the president's leadership than it was 10 years ago. It was sort of coasting. It was effectively a protectorate of the United States of America. Obviously, you saw what happened in Venezuela. So, yeah, the president is putting a stamp on world history, but fundamentally in an America First way.
Okay. So let's talk about this, right? So JD is talking about a new world order, and he's talking. Listen. So the phrase "new world order." I mean, that has profound effect. Everybody knows what the NWO is. Everybody, the entire base, and so Vance is way too smart to be using that phrase to describe what's happening without knowing that it's going to have an impact. And the question is he trying to legitimize this concept, right? Now, here's the deal. The New World Order is being pushed by the WEF and by a whole bunch of these crooks. It is not a good thing. It is not a good thing in any way, shape, or form. The NWO is a debacle. But here at the same time, there is a reality that the world will have a new order. That's happening, right? As technology is changing between globalization and all the different things that are occurring, the world is reordering. Right, Europe is becoming more corrupt. We're not going to tolerate the continuation of that. So, what's going to happen now? The thing that's very uncomfortable to me is I understand that the world order is shifting, but Vance is saying that it's going to shift to an America First agenda. But we're still embracing what's occurring here. And I think that's what Trump is doing, to be honest with you. I think Trump is okay with the New World Order. I think he's moving towards it. But I think he wants it to be an America First New World Order. But the problem is it doesn't really matter what country's first. The core to the New World Order is that there's no middle class. There's those that have and those that do not. And you're either breeding stock or you're part of the elite class. And no one is moving to fix that. The only way to fix that is to start enforcing antitrust laws and start going after the corruption that's occurring in the government and everywhere else. There is a way to fix this, right? We can still advance and have AI and have some of these things and do it differently, but not this way. What this is us moving forward into a new world order where there's no middle class, no opportunity for upward movement, and you are either one of the global elites that will perpetually be a new nobility class, or you're a breeding stock. And we're moving towards this dystopian world where everything is tracked and traced. I mean, Bill Gates and his vaccine poisons are, killing everybody. I mean, this is not a good thing. So let me ask you guys, why is it, and going back to where we opened, why is it that we're seeing this? Why are we seeing outright corruption everywhere? And our leaders, including Donald Trump's administration, embracing this new world order, embracing this insanity, allowing corruption. I mean, with FBI agents talking about the corruption that they're going to tolerate and why they're going to do it and how they're going to do these things. I mean, this is not a good thing, folks. What we're seeing is not at all a good thing. What we're seeing is a situation where systematically, our government is moving away from freedom and towards this nobility class. I mean, it's going to be a corporatocracy is what it's going to be. The huge corporations are going to run everything. And if you work your way up the corporate ladder, you can be part of the elites. And if you don't, you don't, right? But these public-private structures that we're building, they'll be unchangeable, essentially. They're going to create this new global nobility class that's frankly terrifying. Frankly terrifying. So, we're not seeing anything happen. Now, let's move on to this, right? Hold on here. We're going to wait for X to come up because I've got new. So, if you think all this isn't bad enough, I got another thing to play for you. Now, this is Emerald Robinson, right, that found this. And Emerald Robinson does, she's a warrior. She goes after it. She doesn't care. She's a truth warrior. She's an actual reporter, right? She reports news rather than propaganda and is a really interesting character. So Emerald has always stuck to truth and always, kind of pushed true things. And it's amazing. Oh, by the way, I got a comment here that I want to address. This is from Big Stripe. It's in my Twitter comments, and Big Stripe is not verified, and Big Stripe is apparently not all that bright. But he says, I thought you were pretty smart, but apparently not. All the manufacturing Trump is bringing back to the USA will be huge for this country. The list is long of all the great things he's accomplished in 1 year while facing resistance at every turn. You know this. I will give you that Trump is doing a lot of things, and he will bring an immense amount of manufacturing back to this country, but it won't matter. How many jobs are being created with every new Amazon warehouse? Almost none. Why? Robots run the warehouses. We're creating jobs. Do you want to know one of the big factories that we've got? We just created another new self-driving semi factory. 3.5 million people drive semis for a living. They're a blue-collar job. They're a staple job. Guess what happens when people aren't driving them? Because the robots and the AI and the self-driving, there'll be no semi-drivers. They don't need that. Guess where those jobs go? We are moving a lot of manufacturing back to this country, but most of the plants will be automated. There'll be jobs starting out. Over time, those jobs will continue to disappear because AI is only getting more advanced, and so is robotics, and it's accelerating at a rate that is so unbelievable. You have 5 to 10 years before human jobs are the way of the dodo. I mean, there'll still be some work here and there, but these manufacturing jobs, long gone. I'm telling you, Big Stripe, I want to support what's happening, but it's not working. Yes, Donald Trump's being opposed, and yes, the Democrats are worse, and yes, there's corruption, but we're not looking at reality. The reality is very simple. You can go ahead and take a good search online. Take a good look at the Optimus robots with an opposable thumb. That means that they can do anything you can do. They look like people, they have the same ability as people, but they're better. They will be much better than people at any job they want to do. There is nothing that the robots can't do that we do, except maybe the arts and a few other things. This isn't a debatable thing. If you don't believe it, there's robots for almost every job out there. It's really a mess. And so, listen, I think Big Stripe and I would probably get along on most things. And if I had time to sit down with Big Stripe, I think I could explain this to him in a way that would resonate. But unfortunately, this is the nature of social media. People don't see what's happening, and they only look at things through these narratives. The narrative on what Trump has accomplished is half true. He's accomplished a ton. He's bringing wealth back to America. But the problem is he's not enforcing antitrust law. He's not enforcing any of the anti-corruption laws because he can't, because his DOJ is completely corrupt. Yes, the judges are bad. And yes, he would have a hard time with certain things. But the Comey arrest didn't fall apart because because of the judge. I've read the cases. I've read what was done. That case was thrown out because Pam Bondi assigned it to a prosecutor that didn't have authority to file it. This is straightforward. Bondi undermined the case. It was 100% Pam Bondi undermining a case. There was nothing about that that was accidental. There was nothing about that was honest. That case, James Comey is free today because Pam Bondi threw the case, just like she did the Diddy case, just like she did Letitia James. Same method for both Comey and James. And, Lindsay Halligan, probably a great attorney, great person, probably a much better attorney than me. I don't know. But you know what she wasn't? She wasn't legally authorized to bring the case. So it doesn't really matter what she was because she couldn't bring that case. So anyways, let's look at this. Now, this is, you can tell me that this is part of the plan, right? Trump's DOJ, they're good people. Let's listen to Emerald Robinson here.
I think these politics are easy because who's going to believe a school mom is a terrorist? I mean, honestly.
Well, I agree with you on that. But when you put stuff out into the biosphere of the media that says, you better do something by January 15th or else, my response is somebody who was a journalist and has a master's degree in terrorism. So my response, as well as the whole DOJ, was, we don't negotiate with terrorists.
Terrorists?
Do not threaten us.
Where was the threat?
That was Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche's general counsel, a former judge named Vance Day, calling parents targeted by Democrat officials, including the Biden regime DOJ, terrorist.
This is insane.
Yes. A Trump official calling concerned conservative parents terrorist. That doesn't give you any indication just to how far we've fallen. Vance.
Okay, so I'm stopping there. Actually, this is worth watching. You can find it on my Twitter feed, and you should probably watch the whole video. It's a really, really good video. Emerald did an incredible job on this, and I want to urge you to take a peek at it. But folks, this is Todd Blanche. This is Pam Bondi's right-hand man, a former Democrat who is actively involved with J6 persecutions, right hand there. Where is Donald Trump? This should be a fireball. This whole DOJ is manifestly corrupt. Where is Donald Trump? It's not the judges. The judges are bad. The DOJ is worse. And yet Trump won't do anything about it. Why can't, Trump said Susie Wiles is the most powerful woman in the government, in the world. Does that mean she's running the show, Donald? Mr. President, what is going on here? Why can't you fire her? Or won't you fire her? There's a reason. This doesn't make sense to me, right? This doesn't make sense. All of this stuff is 100% antithetical to everything that we saw Donald Trump doing for a long time. Why is it that now he's letting these crooks undermine his administration? He fired everybody his first term all the time. Now, Bondi and Wiles just keep running the show all the time. Why are they getting away with this abject incompetence, even though it's going to cost the midterms? And Trump himself is getting set up. By the way, they're going to make the midterms all about Donald Trump. They're going to have him out campaigning. Well, what happens when he gets schooled? He can't get out there fast enough, in my opinion. He needs to see himself get booed everywhere. He needs to see people booing Pam Bondi, booing him over the Epstein files, booing him over these things. It's the only way Trump's going to figure it out is when he hears from we the people. He's living in this bubble in the White House, totally controlled by Susie Wiles, and he's not hearing the truth. The truth is the American public is pissed. We're tired of no accountability. We elected him for accountability. Now, Susie Wiles lied through her teeth and said it's retribution. It isn't retribution. It's justice. We want justice. Nobody's looking for revenge. We want justice. I don't want child rapists to get away with it. And Bill Clinton is not a very good guy. I don't know what the hell we're thinking here. This absurdity has to stop. I mean, folks, I'm going to skip ahead here. Let me show you this. Let me get this up here. Okay. All right. This is the Epstein files. Mike, let's bring this up. Let's bring this up on screen. So this Epstein files, you scroll down. World Economic Forum has launched an independent investigation into Jorge Brende to clarify his relationship with Jeffrey Epstein. How about this one? The email below suggests that his trafficking operation is still in full force. What? Let's look at this. This is a... Please see email correspondence attached about, of course, you see how the DOJ blocks out every criminal because they don't want any criminals arrested, right? Because she was, and now look at the date, 2025. You see the date here? 2025. Because she was and still is a long-term employee of the Epstein trafficking ring that is still running and being funded today. The Epstein trafficking ring is still running and being funded today? Oh, who's been saying that? Who's been saying that this is an ongoing national security threat? Yours truly. The Epstein ring is alive and well. It's still being used. And the real reason we aren't doing anything is because they're still blackmailing the people in charge. Apparently, Trump doesn't have the balls to put child rapists in jail because he's got people all the way through his administration on the Democrat and Republican side that he knows will go to jail. Now, I don't think Donald Trump is on the Epstein list. I don't think he did anything bad. The story is that he may have even been an informant. But he's doing something bad now by not manning up and putting these guys in jail. If you rape children, you belong in jail. And I don't give a damn what we're doing. I don't want to hear, World War II, World War III, this could cause all these problems. I don't care. If we won't stand against child rape rings, we're garbage. I don't care who you are. Child rape and torture is not okay. This because she was and still is a long-term employee of the Epstein trafficking ring that is still running and being funded today, right? That's what the email says. Brad Edwards I named as accomplice who helped facilitate running the sex trafficking ring. So how on earth, CA, do you then go and represent her? That is why Jess Stanley got in touch with my attorney, Jennifer Freeman, wanted to let me know testify in the Deutsche Bank case. Deutsche Bank, by the way, at the center of all of this, and it bailed out Donald Trump. Jess Staley knows exactly who I am, and so do his attorneys. Jennifer Freeman stopped me from testifying against someone, another criminal, because the victims would lose any compensation payout for being raped and trafficked in that litigation if I testified against someone. This is continuing today, right? This is continuing today, folks. This rape ring is continuing, and Donald Trump came out and said, we got to move on. I'm sorry, Mr. President. Just like mRNA, I may like some of what you're doing, but I'm going to fight you on it, and I'm going to keep speaking out on it. I am not okay with child rape. And if you are, you're a sick pervert and you've got problems. This is something we fight against, period. End of discussion. I'm sorry. I will not stay quiet on this. I will not move on from this until, if our government is too corrupt to go after people who rape children, if our government is too corrupt to deal with this sort of thing, I do not care who it is in our government that's running the show. It is my strong opinion that they need to be held to account. Donald Trump needs to be called out on this and will continue to be called out on this because Donald Trump is, this is going on, folks. It's still happening. Just because Epstein's dead doesn't mean the operation shut down. That's why they're still protecting it. If it was gone, they'd put these people in jail and it'd be the end of it, right? How many thousands of hours did Pam Bondi say? How many kids were on tape being raped? They know who, they know what. This corruption is not ending because Pam Bondi is a crook, because Susie Wiles is facilitating this, because all these people are protecting them. And I'm not okay with this. I don't care. I don't care what happens. I am not okay with child rape. So anyways, the question we have to ask everybody in the primaries this year, are you okay with child rape, or will you stand to ensure that the Epstein ring is brought down and people are put in jail? If the answer is anything other than a clear and unambiguous yes, I'm sorry, I'm against you. Real simple. All right, everybody. TomRenz.com, TomRenz.com. Check out Cardio Miracle. Don't forget men's hormone support. You don't want to have Bill Gates' penis? I think men's hormone support cures Bill Gates' penis. If you have Bill Gates' penis as a diagnosis, you should take men's hormone support from Global Healing. I think it'll help. And also, Cardio Miracle, love Cardio Miracle, but please givesendgo.com/Renzlaw. Also check us out on Substack. Thanks for watching. We will be back very soon.
Thank you for watching the Tom Renz Show. Join us live Monday through Friday at 4 p.m. Eastern, putting an axe in the skull of tyranny.